Welcome to Y2K 18.10.03, and this is Durag Wisdom, long-suffering Durag Wisdom, with just 34 days out from our mid-year elections. And all I keep thinking about it, it's just been driving me crazy, of course. It's been causing me stress. This concern I have that we're going to all die. And all I've been thinking about is this TrumPutin plan for our country. And so far, that creep, that traitor bastard, is following his boss Putin's plan to the letter. 65 million registered Trump supporting voters will be out in force 34 days from now. And they hope that liberals and the independents will stay home. These 65 million registered voting creeps who support traitor Trump have a great deal on their side. They have the money. You know, all these, the Koch brother money, the dirty, filthy Adelson money, all on their side. Rich scum who want to take down our democratic republic. They have voter suppression. GOP engendered voter suppression in GOP-controlled states. They have that Citizens United that was put through by a right-wing Supreme Court, which is going to be even more right-wing once that creep Kavanaugh gets in there. They have the Electoral College on their side. Who gives a crap about the popular vote, ladies and gentlemen? We could just put in the Electoral College winner, the one who owns the most slaves. And they have gerrymandering in their corner. Voter suppression, Citizens United, the Electoral College, and gerrymandering. Who ever heard of living in a country where, in regards to Electoral College, the popular winner of a vote doesn't win? Regarding the 65 million registered Trump voters, I refuse to use a percentage number like the pundits always do. Oh, this is the lowest approval ratings we've ever seen. 35%. He's only going 40%. He's only going 45%. 40. Well, he's not going above 45. He's not going above 40. Tell us the real number, you freaking bastards. 60. Well, let's put it 55 to 65 million people in our country support this birther bastard right now. We're not talking about the disgruntled Trump voters from 2016. We're talking about the people now who support that creep for every filthy thing that he is. Stop with the percentages. 60 to 65 million people are going to be out voting, and they're not going to make any bones about it. More of that in a couple of minutes. Now, regardless of what the FBI finds, ladies and gentlemen, dear ladies and gentlemen, this creep Kavanaugh, my friends, is absolutely unfit to be on the Supreme Court. He is a partisan culture warrior who has absolutely no place to be a judge anywhere. I mean anywhere. We need justices on the Supreme Court, not partisan warriors, which is what this is going to be. Because this is one of the things that Trump and Putin want for our country. They want a Supreme Court that is political, that is theirs, that is Hitlerian. A kangaroo court that will give them carte blanche to do whatever they want to do to us and to our planet. You heard him. You heard that creep, that angry, red-nosed creep, when he was railing against Professor Ford. Left wing this, left wing that. They're after him. I mean, as I said before, why do we bother with jury selection? Just put anybody on there who can be as partisan as they want, who can be as prejudiced as they want. What do we even need trials for? It's a whole show. It doesn't mean anything. As liberal as I am, as left-wing as I am, if I was president of the United States and I want to do the best for our country, I would make sure to put on moderates. Middle of the roaders. That's right. Moderates. People who come in nonpartisan. That's what justice is all about. That's what it's supposed to be all about. But in a totalitarian dictatorship like this creep Trump and Putin want, that doesn't exist. Kavanaugh, culture warrior, as he said at that hearing, as he got angry and said, as he spewed it forth, as besides he likes beer, I like bourbon, he likes beer, but he spewed forth during that hearing the anger. And with that anger came what he really was. And you do not want that kind of person on a court for life. If they manage to put him on, I don't trust the Supreme Court as it is. But now more than ever, we got no place to turn. They've co-opted, these right-wing traitors have co-opted our entire government right before our eyes. And that gets me to the Trump-Putin plan. Hillary Clinton says that this Trump election was as bad as 9/11. I understand where she's coming from. Because an enemy has taken over our country. An enemy has taken over our country. Sorry for repeating. And we have these Russian scum, these Putinist scum, who are sitting in the sidelines. They're doing this. They're having a great time at our expense. That makes me crazy. And I'm sure any right-winger who's listening to this or watching this is probably having a great time. But not for long, hopefully. I hope enough women, at least, in our country are going to stand up against these creeps. I mean, if it was up to me, ladies and gentlemen, and I apologize for this because it's going to sound totalitarian, I would have women rule for the next at least 10,000 years to make up for the 100,000 years of garbage that my species, the male species, has perpetrated on this planet and our lives. We have to shove into everything. We have to shove our giant-sized phalluses into every single niche and corner of everything. Can't leave people alone. Can't let people live in peace and harmony. But that's part of the Trump-Putin plan. And here it is. The Trumputinists want to put child molesters in public office. They want to undermine us to no end. They want to put offenders against women in positions of power, especially on the Supreme Court. I don't care how sad Kavanaugh's wife looked in the background there. I feel sorry for her if she doesn't wake up and see the kind of creep that she's living with. The Trumputinists also want to make sure that they destroy the rule of our constitutional law and replace it with organized criminal oligarchy. Criminal oligarchy. Traitor Trump is nothing more than a mobster, a cheap mobster. They want to blur, these creeps, these Trumputinists want to blur the distinction between church, tribal law, and secular state. We have to protect our secular country. Everybody here has a right to worship the way they choose, but they are not allowed to push their beliefs on the rest of us. They want to make us the laughing stock of the entire planet. The Trumputinists have succeeded in doing just that. Remember the UN meeting? These Trumputinists want to undo environmental and labor rights. They want to destroy, of course, a woman's right to choose. They want to take over a woman's body to be used and abused, to be raped, robbed, and murdered. Over my dead freaking body, mother! They want to destroy our Bill of Rights with the special attacks on our free press. Open up more concentration camps for immigrants with forced labor and extermination camps for anti-Trump, anti-Putin political protesters down the road. Please see also number 1 and 2. This is number 9. They want to, these TrumPutinist traitors, scum, want to put bullies and all manner of lowlives in charge of our country with the intent of turning us into a Putin slave state. I will not allow that crap to happen. 65 million creeps right now at least support the TrumPutin agenda. The same way the clueless slime supported Hitler. I don't believe that our constitutional democratic republic is inviolate. It can be taken away from us just like that. So please, please stop watching Dancing with the Stars and The Bachelorette. And please make sure in 34 days to vote and maybe take 100 people with you to the polls. And just imagine if we allow the TrumPutin creep to have his way if he wins. Spoiler alert. The Lord of the Rings did not have a happy ending. They may have defeated the Dark Lord, but scars remained. Even when we finally defeat the enemy, traitor Trump, the damage has already been done. I'm almost certain this piece of crap, this piece of slime, this sucking scum, drunken creep Kavanaugh will be on the Supreme Court. This woman-abusing creep, this bullying frat house moron will be on the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court is picked in a partisan manner, not by the people. To stop our hemorrhaging, we must all get out and vote these tumors out in 34 days. But we are always going to have to live with those scars, to live with the damage we caused when we went to sleep and did not vote in Y2K16.